Greetings, royal queens and kings. It's your host, Queen Tulsa, and welcome to the Queen Tulsa Show. I am your host, Queen Tulsa, and I will be directing traffic today. No, seriously, we are here and we are gathered to discuss a lot of hot topics that are in the news. There are alleged allegations that P. Diddy's house has been raided by the feds, and we don't know that to be true. Everything here will be alleged, and it will be speculation. We have a lot to get into, but before we get into that, please like, share, and subscribe, and also tell a friend to tell a friend to get on over here because it's about to go down. Because it's a lot of lies and deceit after this. Hello and welcome. Thank you all for coming by. I really appreciate you. Oh, absolutely. Please like, share, and subscribe. The Goddess Tulsa Show. Welcome. Please like, share, and subscribe. Now is the time to go ahead and get ready for the show. We have some great news for you. Okay? We're going to have a great time. So I really, really, really appreciate you and your dedication to showing up. Gratitude. Don't be afraid to hit that cash app. And don't forget to smash that like button. Greetings and gratitude. Thank you all for coming by. Give me 1 second. I'll be okay. So hopefully you all got it. So we are definitely here today, but let's check and see if we have any royals in the building. We do. Winnie one is definitely in the building. Guys, go through those comments. You can shop today. The link is there to donate. You can definitely, the link is there to donate to the platform. PayQueenTulsa.com is in motion and in order. We got the Patreon. We do have, if you would love to send us gifts, it is Christmas time. There's the P.O. box. Definitely screenshot it. And there's the cash shop if you want to be friendly. Okay, now let's get up into it. We are here on several occasions, but first and foremost, Queen live in the field. The Queen Tulsa is a content personality that's broadcasted on YouTube, Instagram, and other social media. Please like, share, and subscribe to this independent channel for the people. Donations go to building this platform. Thanks for taking the time to watch. Remember to hit the like, share, and subscribe buttons. Okay, and like I said, everything is alleged. But you already know we have to do this because it's alleged. Disclaimer, copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act. 1976, allowances made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, educational, personal use tips of balance in favor of fair use. This video was made for entertainment purposes and is transformative in nature. Now, before we just jump up into the P. Diddy situation, I want to say that let's take a second and let's acknowledge, for those of us that are, a particular age and we've been 17, we've been 6, we've been there before. And I remember, I will say this, I remember when I was 16 or 17, I wanted an older man. And guess what? When I was out there walking those streets, I wasn't IDing a man. I was not. So there's no telling how old they were. And you guys, if you know me and if you're a part of the royal family, you know that I've been open and honest My past life, I had to walk the streets and to survive. Absolutely. And that's my testimony. I am happily married, been married for 5 years. And, you know, I mean, where you start doesn't necessarily reflect how you're going to finish. You have to have the drive, the determination to want better, to do better. And, it's like, it wasn't because like I just wanted to, it was because I had to. And that's another thing. People don't know why people do the things that they do. I did that because that's what I had to do to supply the things that I needed. And I think that we all can relate when, we may have asked family, maybe help out or something like that, and they refuse to help. They may have the means to help. However, you're just really out there, you're just put out there. And I'm going to be very vulnerable because this is not common content or commentary for me. This is a real life situation, and I know others are treating it as such, like it's commentary, it's funny, they want to know the questions. No, this is a real serious problem all over the states. And I know in Philadelphia, I don't know if you all remember, but remember it was a lot of black kids like coming up missing, like 15 of them, 15 plus. And those are the only photos and numbers that they showed us. We don't know where they are. And someone said honey, those are the real victims. It's real victims out here and it's real survivors out here. And I have questions. I have questions with the whole camp. Why did you all save all that information and now it's Mad Day? Everybody's going against him. Why you want to tell it now? You should be charged. You should be charged as well. You knew about it. You didn't report it. You should be charged. Let's just keep it real. Let's keep it 100. Real individuals were victims and not the ones that were at a point where they let love blind them of what was going on. They let the gifts blind them of what's going on. Or they received the gifts to be quiet, allegedly. But this goes in so many ways. We're not all going to agree on the same thing. We're all not going to have the same opinions. And that's respectable. But the main fact is how black women coddle black men. He was coddled. He was coddled. Oh, it's okay. I'm not going to say nothing. It was pushed under the rug like it was in your family, your mother, your grandmother. You didn't hear stories. Stop acting like y'all don't know how people push stuff under the rug. Stop acting like that. We're not going to do that. We're not going to do that. We're not going to sit here and act like in the black community, in the black household, and I can only speak for our household because I'm black and I grew up in a black household. Don't get me started. We are having communion. If you have communion in your space and it's appropriate, go ahead and take communion. But this is opening up our eyes. We're all on here fussing and fighting amongst each other when it's real content that needs to be put out. We need to protect the survivors. We need to protect the individuals that don't have a voice. We need to make it comfortable for them to come out. Stop victim shaming. If you wasn't there, then it's no need for you to be having an attitude and wanting to go at somebody. Take your defense off and hear somebody. You might be triggered because maybe it was you, or maybe you've heard a situation similar to it. Each case is different. Each case is a on case basis. Your situation is not going to be Kelly's situation that's sitting right here. You got your situation and Kelly got her situation right here. Everybody got their own story. So for the survivors and some of those that are in these relationships right now, they're looking at this. They're looking at this live broadcast. Start working on an exit plan, baby. An exit plan. Start make your exit ASAP. All right, let's get into it. This is just a heavy topic, you all. And I want people to be aware of what's going on. And it's not a game, it's not a joke. I don't care if you think it's a conspiracy theory or whatever the case may be. Sweetheart, the lawsuit is in writing, in black and white. Something that's never done is not on paper. It's in black and white for you to go, and you can Google it and you can look it up for yourself. Get educated. You all up into that drama stuff, girl. Get up into that to that education. Now, there's an interview out there. Oh, and speaking of the industry and being paid and things like that, you know what I'm saying? Let's go ahead and pull this up. I want to pull this up because you probably want to say, oh, well, Queen Tulsa, why are you pulling that up? Well, because I want to make a point. And I want to make a point because I want you guys to see this in the industry. You all know Fantasia had her situation in the industry where, she wasn't paid, right? Get into this.
And, I still haven't been paid a check for my records. You know what I'm saying?
I know. So Babyface was big red. I told
we gotta work some things out.
Wait, you ain't been paid a check from one record?
From any of my records.
Oh, now let's get
what?
it. Yeah. Now
John B, shut up, man.
Nah.
John B.
No, they still have to pay.
John B, I will walk out of this room.
No,
why do you think he lying?
They still have to pay.
That sounds believable.
Every record?
That sounds believable.
Every record, bro.
Nah, there's some type of check.
No, I get checks because I do shows, but I don't get paid for my records. Out, but it's 25, 26 years later, and I still haven't been paid a check for my records.
Now, honey, he said 25 or 26 years later. I mean, clearly we see what is going on current day. What is going on current day? Let's be honest. Let's be real. Diddy wanted to give back the rights and things, and they say that, well, it's not really worth anything because nobody does the CDs anymore. In my era, I love the CD. And listen here, I need you to make me a CD with all the club jams on it. Or I need you to make me a CD to ride to. I remember those days. See, y'all probably don't remember those days, but I remember those days. That was back in the day, girl. When they learned how to burn those CDs and what burning meant. I mean, I don't know how they did it, but girl, they could get you the music. If you couldn't afford that CD, baby, you could buy $5 or $10, or they had the 3 for $15 or 2 for $10, or however they did it back in the day. But let's get up into this interview with, what's his name? Let's get up into this interview with Nipsey Hussle, because you all know, child, it's a lot. Oh my goodness, y'all, it's a lot. Give me a second. Oh, this is a lot. And this is strictly fair use, okay? Oh, girl, give me a moment. Give me a moment. Now, I want you to get up into this, okay? I want you to get up into this. Now, I don't know if you all know, but see, Oh my gosh, no. So I don't know if you all know, but Cassie and Lauren London are allegedly best friends, child. And you can see by the thumbnail, you see that Jumpy, the last one, and she's over there by Nikki. I meant by Nipsey. Cassie and Lauren, best friends. Why hasn't Cassie come out, you guys? She wants to be this big advocate. You know, she is a part of the, you know, she wanted to keep the legacy running on for Nipsey, but you know, he was about positivity, right? He wanted to restructure the culture. And
I think that
representative
people receive me based on.
And so if she wanted to follow into that, you know what I'm saying? Like he was, I don't know how to word this. Maybe I'm wording it wrong, but please excuse me if I am. Okay, so there I am right there. Okay, so let's just go ahead and get into this and we'll dissect it later. But I wanted to bring up this interview because this interview is very telling. This interview is very telling because they say, well, Nipsey says that his album was done and Puffy had come in at the last minute. It wasn't like Puffy helped with the album. He did this, he did that. From what I'm hearing, Nipsey he said that, you know, his album was done. Let's go ahead and take a listen.
On what I said. So I wouldn't blame people for that. I came in and said, this is where I'm from and this is what I represent. But it was for a reason. I wanted to establish, you know, what I belong to. And I looked at it like jail. That's what I used to tell my homies, because even some of my homeboys would be like, bro, you can't come out talking about the hood specifically, you know what I mean? But I'm just like, you know, when you walk into a dorm, the first thing you establish is where you from. And then from there, you get into the person behind this, just in case whoever got a problem with this, wherever your enemies is, you go to the back, you handle your business. And then you get into like, okay, I could actually fuck with you. You know what I mean? We get to know each other, but you get that out the way first. And so,
okay, so I'm assuming that he's telling about, you know, like how you know, you go in jail or whatever the case may be, and how to lay low, stay out of the drama, stay out of the mess, don't get into nothing, don't say nothing, mind your business, do your time, and then you'll be out, right? Let's get into it.
Also, I wanted my message to impact gang culture. You know what I'm saying? I wanted what I had to say to impact individuals like myself, young people that was in these areas that was controlled by gangbanging. I didn't want to preach to the choir, but I wanted to be able to say, you know, I'm one of you, and where I'm gonna go, wherever I end up, you're gonna know that you can end up there too. Whether it's at the top of the game or in a successful situation as a business owner, I came from this, and it's authentic, and I'm not on the outside of this culture. That's why I came in like I came in. I wasn't trying to like be on no super tough guy shit. You know what I'm saying? I just wanted to be.
Don't you all think that we need that in the culture? We need some civilization. I'm tired of the hoodlums running around, getting all hyped up and causing chaos and confusion in the communities. You know, taking and breaking in people, you know, breaking in their communities' homes. You know what I mean? It's a lot. And I feel like a lot of people, a lot of young men looked up to Nipsey Hussle. You know, they looked up to Nipsey Hussle before they looked up to P. Diddy. I'm saying, like, if we wanted to ask, like, go around with a poll, I believe that people will look up to Nipsey more than they would look up to P. Diddy. But those are just my opinions. Let's get into it.
Clear that, you know, wherever I take it, I'm not different. I'm exactly the same. I've been through everything you've been through or you're gonna go through as somebody in that culture.
What is a better Crip? What does that mean?
I think what Kendrick, I don't know, because I ain't saying, but what I would assume Kendrick meant was that you know, somebody that is not 100% biased or outside of communicating with a blood or somebody from the other side of the tracks. Maybe that's what he meant. That's what I took it as, you know. But we had to ask Kendrick his take on what he meant by that.
What I've always appreciated about you is that you've always been an entrepreneur, and it does come through a lot on this album also. Just a lot of things you've done, having your own clothing line, having your own agency, and then your whole thing with the cryptocurrency that I was reading about that you invested in, and you want other people to be able to invest as.
Okay, so as we listen, I want you guys to really pay attention. Remember, Diddy had his clothing line, right? Get into it. Wasn't like Diddy up north, and he had like this movement where, you know, the bad boy movement, right? Young Nipsey, and I say young because he's younger than Diddy. He had plans, he had an aspiration. It was about giving back to the community. And allegedly, when you have somebody that's taking from the community and acting like they are for the community, I could only imagine what type of struggle that is. You know what I'm saying? But let's get into it.
As well. You know, and I think that's important because when I first met you, I always say this, you were really like at music industry seminars and summits and making sure you knew the business because you've been independent for so long. So it makes it time to step when you do a major label deal with Atlantic Records and you know exactly what's going on with your business. And that's so important and something that a lot of people need to focus on.
What made you go back to the label though? You know, because she mentioned that. And
well, listen here. After the TLC story aired on Lifetime, I think that should have woken up a lot of people in the industry when they were interested in signing deals and things like that. Just, you know, don't be so excited. Get your own attorney to look those things over. Do not use the same attorney as the record company. And that was a lesson that I learned with TLC.
you know, when I was at Def Jam, we were trying to get you to stay at Def Jam, and you wanted out.
I was at Epic. I was at Epic.
That's right. I was at Epic.
Yeah.
And you wanted out. Like, and we were trying to get you to stay. Like, what made you have that vision so early? Because when you were signed, this is when independent was looked down upon.
Absolutely.
So what made you see that vision, and then what made you go back to the label side?
I mean, honestly, coming into rap, I told this story before. I tried
to sign your Def Jam. That's what.
Yeah. Yep, exactly. When Callie was over there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Like before rap, I mean, before I got into whatever the industry is or into a label situation, my goal as a hustler was to sell 50,000 units and to get 15,000 a show. Because I read somewhere that Joel Santana got 15,000 a show. I was like, damn, that's cool. We do a lot for 15,000. And then to be able to sell 50,000 indie, because I was like, I watched Master P. I study like the independent successes what Jay and them did before they deal. And I'm like, that's impressive as an indie. If you could do that, then you can leverage a different type of negotiation when you go to the label. So I always wanted to go in that direction. When I did my Epic deal, you know, I was on the run. When I had a case pending, my crime was in jail. I thought I was about to go do a lot of time. And I hid out. I went to my homeboy Tiny Copy house and hid in the house for 3 months.
They signed you, they didn't know you had a warrant?
Nah, I didn't have a warrant, but somebody that I was involved in something with was in jail for the crime. And I knew the police was looking for me. He didn't tell on me, but they didn't put the warrant out so that they wouldn't alert me, but I knew what was going on.
Right.
You know, so I just was like, I'm gonna sign my deal to get this check and fight my case, truthfully. You know, and, you know, by the grace of God, I got out of that situation. I ended up doing a probation violation. I signed my deal to Epic. We went to Jamaica to celebrate. We came back, and the police was at my store waiting for me the next day and took me to jail.
Why? Because you didn't get permission?
Well, let's be serious. Let's be honest. Diddy's state of residence is in California. And that is public records. His state of residence is in California. I want you guys to really just see how everything is going on. And I really want you guys to really focus in on Cassie and old girl being best friends. Cassie and Lauren being best friends. Let's keep that in mind. Okay.
To leave the country?
Nah, not even that. It just was that I guess they heard I was back. You know what I mean? I guess they heard I was back in town. And I figured when I came back from Jamaica that I didn't have no warrant. Cause I came back over the, country lines and they didn't arrest me at the border. So I'm like, oh, I ain't
That's how you check your warrant. If I make it back, I got a warrant.
Really, I'm like, I'm gonna get my deal and I'm gonna deal with this shit afterwards.
It's easier ways to check if you got warrant.
I called lawyers, they're like, I don't see nothing. So I'm like, all right, we're gonna see. But I was a little bit more confident. I didn't even come out the house till I got my deal. I sat in the house for like 3 months just to secure my deal. I figured if I went to jail and it was a real case, that's gonna be the end of my opportunity.
Right.
So I did my deal, and as soon as I came back, I went to jail. And I fought my case for like 2 months in the county, got out, and I just came to New York and just started recording what became the Bullets Ain't Got No Names mixtapes. So I said all that to say,
And so you had a deal before the Bullets Ain't Got No Name mixtapes?
after Volume 1, I got my deal.
Okay.
So Volume 2, that was the one that Epic Records helped promote with Hustle in the House, and then we was like, had a video on MTV, and we kind of took an incline, you know what I mean? And like, fan awareness, I guess, just people understanding who he was. But yeah, I was under pressure when I took that deal. If I wasn't, I don't know what I would have done, but my goal was to stay indie and just, like I said, try to sell 50,000. I had a map on my wall, and I was like, I'm gonna sell 1,000 units in each market. You know what I mean? And be able to sell 50,000 units. And when that didn't happen, I took my deal. I was sincere about working with Epic. I wasn't like, I'm gonna use these people. No, I wasn't looking at it like that. I'm like, this is how the cookie crumbled. I'm gonna go this route. But it was a regime change up there. And Charlie Walk signed me when Brandon Creed and a dude named Adam Granite was in that building. And then also Johnny Shipes. So it was a team of people, and Jim McDaniels also. That was, they believed in me. They had power in that building. And then when they left, it was a whole new cast.
I want you guys to really pay attention to what is going on, what Nipsey is saying. He's going to eventually tell us that his album was complete and how Diddy stepped in and executive produced and things like this and that. These are his words. So without interrupting, let's get back into it.
Came in. And I mean, I'm sure y'all know what happened when the regime change happened at the label.
Right.
You don't really get credit for what's already signed. And it's in your interest to bring new talent to the building. So they ain't dropped me, but I had a convo with the general manager. I'm like, bro, I know how to get it out the trunk. You know what I mean? I appreciate what we've done. Let's work for another year. And if we can't get the album out, just let me go back and don't hold my career up. Let me go back indie.
You compare yourself to down south pioneers on the album a lot. Percy Miller, James Prince, Brian Williams. What about them inspired you so much?
Just I could relate to where I saw they origin and where I saw the intention for them to go into music. I felt like that's what happened with me. Like I was knee deep in some shit, and I always had a passion for music. I was always a creative person. I really wanted to do music first before I got into the streets. And I was frustrated because I ain't had no studios. It wasn't no infrastructure on the West Coast. And it was like, it was pressure from outside. You know what I mean? And after a while, I stopped resisting it. But I always wanted to do music. So when I looked at people like, Birdman, people like his brother, not just Bird, it's a team effort. Jay Prince and Rap A Lot, E40 and Sick With It Records. I didn't mention him on the album, but that's another one. Jay-Z, Biggs.
Now, I want you to pay attention to the people that he named. He named Jay Prince and all them, right? Well, we know in the streets, the streets do talk, and that set of people, the offset situation or the takeoff situation, everything that had went on with that, pay attention, you get in close.
Everybody that was indie and that came out of the streets into the independent grind and then graduated that into being commercially successful, I could trace their steps. I don't know how this person who uncle was in the game, I didn't have that access, or who, just had a relationship with a platinum artist. And that's no disrespect to nobody, but that wasn't my reality. I was like, go ahead.
And how did you link up with Atlantic? Because now you and Atlantic have a partnership.
Yeah.
What made you do that partnership?
We had been talking for a while. Once I got out of the Epic situation, I started doing the marathon mixtapes and touring.
You said a while. That must have been like 2-3 years, 4 years.
Yeah, no, for sure, like 2 or 3 years. And I had a certain terms that I wanted to come into the building with, and so I met.
Let's point out the fact that he has his terms. Headstrong, businessman, know what he wants, know what his profit will, he could at least an estimated guess of what a profit will be, right? but it was like learning the game and adding your spin or twist or, you know, making it work for you. Oh, what is Bambi doing? Hold on, y'all. Let me let the dog in.
And with Craig, probably like 012, 013. And at the time, you know, they didn't feel like I could justify my time, which was probably true, you know, so I kept working. We did a Crenshaw tape, and then at that point, we got back in the table. I mean, we sat back down at the table, and, you know, we figured out what the deal structure would be. And, you know, I did a couple more mixtapes, and then we actually inked the deal and, you know, delivered the album.
Did you keep that deal quiet because you wanted to keep giving the illusion of independence?
Now, it wasn't the illusion of independence. It was just, I had made the mistake prior to announcing the deal. And I realized people don't care about a deal. That's a business. People care about music.
Right, absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? So, and what happens is that when you announce a deal, it's like a press window. You get like 30 days of press. They write about you, and I wanted that to roll into the album.
Gotcha.
So I didn't want to make no announcement until the album was turned in. We had a release date. So the announcement, which came December 1st of 2017,
right,
was the first piece of content. It came out with a single and with a video. And from then we was, you know, content up until February 16th was the album release.
Very strategic. I love the planning behind everything.
Thank you.
You talk about West Coast infrastructure. It was a period when you needed a Dr. Dre cosign to get out of the West. Why do you think that changed?
I mean, you could always use a Dr. Dre cosign, but just what you said, Dre, man, he built, I call it an island. If you look at music.
Let's get into these islands, child. Y'all know about Epstein Island. You know, Dre has an island. Allegedly, they say Snoop Dogg has an island. But with this situation, I feel like the obstacles that are in Diddy's way, you know, it's going to pretty much come as disappointment and setbacks. He's going to be exhausted trying to accomplish any and everything. Right now it's like impossible for him to achieve anything because don't nobody want to hear it. You know, it's simply not meant to be, and no amount of effort or determination will change that. Let's be clear and let's be honest. You know what I'm saying? He's just going to have to settle for a second choice. Let's get into it.
It's like 3 or 4 islands in rap music. You know what I mean? And a lot of things that you might not know, well, y'all know, but that the people might not know are connected to these islands. They connected. You got to like Jimmy Iovine, Dr. Dre Island, but you got to list all the artists. Tupac came under that. Drake, Snoop, Game,
Kendrick.
Well, yeah, Kendrick is a part of the Top Dog thing as well, but it connects. You know what I'm saying? And so then you got like the Lior, Def Jam Island, and that not Island Records. I'm just saying Island.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Yeah, and you know a lot of Rough Riders, Murder Inc., Rockefeller, you know, Kanye, and all the artists that came after Ye fall under that. And then you got, what's the other one? Whatever happened on Sony, you know what I mean? And so, damn, I kind of lost train of thought about what you asked. You was like Dr. Dre thing. Yeah. So I feel like it was one of them 3 options for artists, unless you wanted to go what I call just taking the stairs and figuring out how to get into one of those situations as your own thing. Top Dog did it. You know what I'm saying? Top Dog created his own thing. I remember them. We was all on the LAX tour together, and it was you know.
Now let's be honest. Let's be clear. Rest in peace, Tupac. But we already know the impression that Tupac left on the community. Nipsey Hussle has left as. I feel like he's left the same impression, and people love him, and I feel like let's get into it, y'all. He's going to tell us everything that we need to know.
Oh, years and years and years, and you know, they held out and established themselves as their own entity. And so that was my goal, to build an island myself. You know what I mean? I saw even like Jay, they got Rock Nation. That's an island.
Right, absolutely.
That's its own thing. Even though it came from them being an artist connected to another situation, they have turned that into its own operation. So go ahead.
No, good. And you mentioned also on the album that, you know, you don't do radio records.
Right.
You don't focus on, I got to find a record for radio.
Right.
And you've done that from the beginning of your career. Now it doesn't matter. But back then, everybody wanted the radio record, and every label was looking for that radio record. Does the label now look for that? Because with all their signees, I can't think of most people that don't have a record that they push on radio.
I think that it's 2 ways to go about it. And I think you could be an album artist that, you know, you focus on your product is the album, or you could be a single-driven artist. So try to find a balance between both. But I think like you look at Beyonce, at the beginning of her career, it was all hits, it was all singles. But then at a point, it was like focus became the album, and it was like, you know what I'm saying? It was just how to make the album an event, and then whatever the people chose, that'll be the record that, you know, everybody got behind, and you support it with your visuals and everything. But I would never say that we intentionally avoid trying to end up on the radio, but just, you know, from where I was standing and what the message was and what the story was, I tried making radio records in the past and they didn't feel authentic.
And you don't really need it.
Yeah, I mean, the game, so it's a different game right now. I think it's a lot about streaming. It's about making a dope product that people really want to hear over and over again. But you always could, radio gonna give you that next level touring. So I wouldn't, when I said that, I was like, I ain't need radio to do mine. I done fine. I meant to get here. You know what I mean? We want to keep going, obviously, and penetrate the boundaries we haven't penetrated. But to this point, I just was speaking to how we was gorillas with the tactic.
Gotcha.
What kind of conversations did you and Diddy have? Because you and Diddy formed a relationship, I assume through Lauren London and Cassie. And...
Yeah. Bug threw me the alley-oop, you know.
Oh, you up with Lauren?
No, I'm saying Lauren.
Why hasn't Lauren London come out and speak on the situation with Diddy and Cassie? They're friends. Come on. What's up? Did y'all forget that?
Lauren London and Cassie. And...
Yeah. Bug threw me the alley-oop, you know.
Oh, you up?
Puff threw him the alley-hoop. Cassie and Lauren, besties. Were they out fishing and threw out the line and hooked Nipsey? I don't know. Let's get into it.
Lauren?
No, I'm saying Lauren introduced me to Puff.
Oh, got you.
I mean, I knew Puff, but it was more of a personal relationship after, you know, we was at Cassie's birthday, something like that, you know.
What made you want to get an old nigga like Diddy and put him on young nigga?
Let's get into this. So let's just say, you know, Diddy, you know, appears to be handsome, charismatic, and bold, you know, who has a commanding presence, be honest, and strong convictions. I'm pretty sure word on the street allegedly is that. But he appears to have, you know, like strong leadership skills, you know, attracts attention wherever he goes. And I feel like he goes after men that are innovative, creative, that can give him a new concept for his male energy. Those are just my feelings. I don't know, but Nipsey, what was you saying?
That's crazy. Diddy chose young nigga. I try to get him more rap niggas because I was referencing the "Hate Me Now" video and what his presence on that record with Nas brought to it. I'm like, look, this the record, this rap niggas. I want you to get on this, put the mink on, get the video. We gonna make a movie. And he was like, he told me the whole story behind that. He like, bro, I busted $40 million check a week before I did that movie. So that video. Wow. He like, that's the energy you saw in that video. Wow. Like I went and spent all this dough on the chain, and we got tigers. Like I got the biggest check of my life. Yeah. So he like, we probably ain't gonna be able to recreate that energy. You know what I'm saying? But you know, when I played the rest of the songs for him, he heard young niggas and he chose that record. Right. Yeah, so you know, he just went in the booth and then start, you know, start gassing. You know. But even still, like rap niggas, he gave me some real production advice on that record. When I played it for him.
Now listen here. I don't think that nobody could just get jiggy with it and go in there and just hop on his album. I don't think it was that way. Because he, you know, he was in everybody's video. All his artists. And a lot of people are discrediting the Uptown members because Mary J. Blige was around during the Uptown record days. She's a surviving member. Nothing has happened to Mary. Can y'all name one thing that happened to Mary J. Blige besides her husband cheating on her and her coming off that stuff? I don't know, but Nipsey, come on, let's go.
For him, it was different than what y'all heard.
He said it wasn't loud enough.
Yeah, and he was like, listen, bro, he pulled up Natural Born Killers by Ice Cube and Dr. Dre. Like, this what you going for. This what y'all trying to do on this record. Maximize it, make it sound like this. And we went back in the studio and I played it for my producers and then we turned it up and added a synth lead all the way through so it sounded more like West Coast violent, you know what I mean? And I felt what he said after the fact. I was a little upset, like, what you mean, this shit banging? But after I reapproached it, it was room to make the record better.
See, that's for all those people who say Diddy don't do shit. Like when they say he don't really produce.
Nah, but see me, my understanding of Diddy, this is how I look at Diddy, right? All right, think about More Money, More Problems. No disrespect to Big.
Well, apparently there are more money and more problems. I feel like someone around Diddy, somebody on that side is going to pass soon. And he's going to have to do a self-examination of himself. I think he's out of control. I don't know. Maybe it's some budget cuts going on with Young Miami. I don't know if the financial situation is still going good for her. But like I said, we need to hear from Young Miami because, you know, Diddy is, you know, he's going to be having some financial issues. You know, his credit has ran out. These loans, I don't know where these loans are. You know, credit overextended. And check those investments, honey. But what were you saying, Nipsey?
Big is a legend. So what I'm about to say is not a shot against Biggie. Please don't spin it like that when I hear this. What I'm saying is that, all right, I seen an interview when Biggie had the glasses on. And he was like, yeah, it's more money, more problems. You know what I mean? You just come with this shit. That was before the record.
Right.
So who told the songwriter, hey, look, take the Diana Ross melody and take this line, more money, more problems, and in the hook with more money, more problems. And who said that? Puff. That was Puff.
Right.
That's production. Right. And then presented it to Biggie. Who said sample the Diana Ross I'm Coming Out record? You know what I'm saying? Who said that? That was Puff's decision. And then threw Biggie the alley-oop, and Biggie came with the B.I.G. P.O. That's classic. Yeah. But to catch the alley-oop, I've been an artist. I know what that do. When I think about, then we should sample a big record. Then I think about what can I tell the songwriter for the hook? Then I gotta also do the verse. So that's what I told Puff, bro, throw me some alley-oops. Like you threw, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, listen to what I'm saying in my interviews, learn me, get in your Puff Daddy the producer bag and throw me some alley-oops.
Oh, child. As a big artist as Nipsey is, child, somebody should have warned him. No, that's not the move right there. Get into it.
I'm gonna catch him. And that was like the original combo we had, you know what I'm saying?
You sampled a Hard Knock Life on the album.
Yeah.
Did you have to clear? Who you had to clear that with?
Jay-Z.
Okay.
Yeah. You know what's crazy about that record?
I thought you played the keys over just enough where you had to clear.
Nah,
that's Hustle Hard Motivation record.
Yeah, Hustle and Motivation. Yeah, so when Jay cleared, and this is what I learned when we was going through the process of paperwork. When Jay-Z got Annie to clear the record, I guess when he paid him, he said, y'all gotta let every other rap artist after me use it.
Wow.
Yeah. So that was his deal with whoever the producers and writers.
That's interesting.
You know what I'm saying?
That's dope.
Yeah, so we benefited off his negotiation in 1998.
Wow.
We just had to get Jay-Z to clear. When he cleared it with the owners of the copyright, he made it to where any hip hop artist after him could use a record.
Jay did that, so hopefully you don't have to go through
You know what I'm
that.
saying?
Wow.
Yeah.
So every hip hop artist got to clear with Jay first.
Well, they just need, they just need the Jay-Z clearance. The Annie clearance is good as long as they're a hip hop artist.
Jay's always showed you love, though.
Wow.
Didn't he buy like 1,000 copies of your Crenshaw album? What album was
He
1,000?
bought 100 copies of Crenshaw that was $100.
Okay.
Yeah.
And now you didn't even know him back then.
Nah, I mean, I met Jay in LA years ago at a concert. I was just backstage and I ran up to him. I'm just like, what's up? I'm Nip. You know what I mean? I'm from LA, bro, from Rolling 60s. He actually bought a lowrider. The story is, I ain't never asked him, but he bought a lowrider from one of my homeboys, Money Mike. That's in the Maya video. That Best of Me.
The baby blue one, right?
Yeah, you know what I mean? He bought that from one of my homeboys, one of my G homies from LA. That was an old school hustler.
That was really his, huh?
Yeah, that was it. He bought that.
How did that nigga being so real?
Yeah. Yeah, that's confirmed. You know what I mean?
Wow.
Nah, but so I just was like, yeah, I'm Nip. I'm from Rolling 60s. He like, nah, I know. And this was years before the Crenshaw thing. He like, y'all doing your thing. Keep going. So that was the only combo we ever had until the Crenshaw thing. But yeah, Jay been 100, man. Jay just been, you know what I mean? Just always speak highly. Always, you know what I mean? Tip his hat. So, you know what I mean? A lot of.
Well, I would love to know how Nipsey really felt about Diddy behind the scenes, like, or even anybody for that matter. Like, how did you feel about these people, like, actually, like, real, no holds barred? Like, how did you really feel about them? Because like when you're in situations and you are navigating or you're negotiating and you don't want to step on nobody's toes. So I just want to know, like, how was that for you?
Look,
I had no idea that money gets mildewy. I saw you tell me that
I
story.
didn't either. We learned the hard way. We
They
learned
heard-
that.
But you put it in the safe or you had it on the mattress?
We had it in a safe, wrapped in plastic.
Same thing happened to me. They
Yeah.
said baking soda. You put baking soda.
Oh,
in
to
the
keep
safe.
it from
Keep it
mildew.
happened to me too.
But you
And,
buried it in the back. Your brother buried it in the backyard.
Yeah.
That's hard.
How much was it?
He buried $250,000 and when we dug it up, it was like more than 100 was like just stuck together. Imagine stacks of money.
You feel wet.
Yeah, and you can't peel it. It's just one lump of paper.
Happened to me too.
And then the color faded. It got holes in it. We was
So
like
good advice
borderline
to
nervous
people, do not
breakdown.
bury money in the backyard.
What's
Nah,
wrong? What's wrong?
airtight, fireproof, safe. Don't believe the hype.
Yeah,
What's
that's
wrong with
bad.
bank accounts, guys? Like, what?
I mean, back then, you know what I'm saying? You want to access, you might need it 3 in the morning.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah.
You might have to get low.
Now, Blue Laces,
You know what I'm saying?
So what happened with the money? Was it gone?
It
You
was
couldn't use it?
ruined. You can't use it.
100,000.
About 100 of it was. I mean, I swear to God,
tried.
on my no, I was trying to
tried.
hold it down for my brother because that was actually his money.
Mhm.
But my mom, my little sister, she was probably like 10 at the time.
See, and I wasn't even gonna go in on DJ Envy, but him burying money in the backyard, and then to know that he was in that whole situation that drew him, this whole pyramid situation allegedly, I don't know. Let's go.
We was all in the living room with the blow dryer. It was futile. We wasn't
What
getting
did
none
you
of it
do?
back, but we was just trying to do something. I remember going to the Slauson swap meet with that money because my brother like, just you can have it, bro. I'm fucking.
But using it? Could you use
I
it?
tried. I went to Ben Baller and I went to his.
Ben Baller?
Yes, he got a booth at the Slauson swap meet, and I went to his cousin Steve and all of his people. And I'm like, shit, some of this shit can spend, bro. What can we do? And they let me spend a little bit of it,
Oh,
but
that's nice.
yeah, that
Why-
shit was devastating.
Why not just launder the money instead of burying it?
Well, we don't launder
answer
money.
that.
We don't
Don't
launder
answer
money.
that.
You know what I'm saying? That's illegal, Charlotte. You know what I'm saying? We pay the IRS, man.
Now, Blue Laces 2, one of my favorite records on the album. You make a spook who sat by the door reference.
All right, now I have questions because Diddy was attached to Revolt, correct? And doesn't Revolt host the Breakfast Club, or are they associated in some type of way? Because it seems like Charlemagne was given like a list of questions to throw out there at unexpected times. I'm not really sure, but let's get into it.
What you know about that, man?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I read
Yeah.
that book. But I don't think you a spook who sat by the door. I think your intentions are pretty clear.
Well, now I would say so, but even to the point we made earlier, that's one of the reasons I was so vocal about where I was coming from and what I represented, because I knew who I wanted to mobilize. You know what I mean? And I'm gonna name my last album "The Spook That Sat by the Door." You know what I mean? When I finished my situation with our partnership at Atlantic. And if anybody ain't seen that movie or read the book, it's about a gang member from Chicago who presented himself in a way he never caught no cases. He had a clean cut look, and he infiltrated the CIA.
Yep.
And he became educated and basically he used their agenda, which was to have a token nigga in the CIA for political reasons. You know, we gonna speak blunt, fuck it. He used it against him. And I think that in terms of hip hop, you think of the message that they embrace, I feel parallel with, like, you know what I mean? The power structure. I don't mean the culture of hip hop, but the power structure of music. They got prescribed personas they expect from us. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like the way he used their intention against him was one of my underlying strategies. You know what I'm saying?
You got to put the medicine in the candy.
100%.
And what's interesting about that book, all his people used to call him Uncle Tom and a coon,
You know what I'm
and
saying?
sellout.
Yeah.
But he was there working for them the whole time.
Great plans. That was going to overshadow. People were going to, individuals that were going to be impacted by Nipsey were going to change their lives. But you have a crowd of people that want to change lives, and then you have a crowd of people that's just like, we got our own thing going on. Whatever that is. Let's go.
Yeah, and he I don't want to go blow nothing up like he did in the movie, you know what I mean? But just in terms of being able to mobilize his homies to a higher cause, you know? That's something I feel like we all got to do. Me and Kendrick and Top and Snoop. Kendrick talked about it in Dedication.
Mm-hmm.
We had a convo at the Pop premiere, just about, a little bit of what we talking about.
There's a lot of little jewels that you're saying, and that's what I like. Like I said, the medicine really is in the candy, because even when you drop a ball like about Dr. Sebi,
yeah,
like just that one thing they killed Dr. Sebi will make somebody go research who Dr. Sebi is.
100%.
Dr. Sebi. Sebi.
See, my bad, I said it wrong.
He said
Yes.
I'm an LA nigga, man. My lingo a little
Have you
different.
met
Right?
Dr. Sebi?
I never met him. I met his wife, and I take his products for sure.
Like, cool with diabetes. I mean, he was when we interviewed him, I think he was about 74.
Oh, y'all interviewed him?
Yeah, we interviewed him twice.
Damn.
Not here, but when I was on the other show, he was able to jump from the floor up here on his knees.
At
He
70
jumped in the
something.
floor on his knees.
Yeah.
He jumped back down and no problems, nothing like that.
Why you think
He
they
had-
killed him?
Why do they kill all holistic doctors?
Messing up the medical industry.
You short stopping their grind. Why do niggas get killed for hustling in front of a nigga spot? You short stopping the grind. And these niggas, they check is billions. You got niggas that get flipped for a couple $100,000. So you playing with some pharmaceutical money, And what's crazy, I'm working on doing a documentary on the trial in 1985. When Dr. Sebi went to trial against New York, right? Because he put in the newspaper, he cured AIDS.
Yeah.
Did he
He beat the
He won that
case,
case,
and he went to federal court the next day and beat that case on record.
Yep.
And nobody talk about it.
That's crazy. I'm in the middle of doing this holistic detox right now, day 6 of 14.
Yeah, he was telling me.
Yeah. So.
No food, nothing.
And they said it actually can help cure fibroids. It can help you if you are, cancer, any type of heart issues. And it's all natural herbs and all organic and all holistic without actually going to a doctor and getting pharmaceutical.
Yeah. How you feel though? You feel
I
a
actually
difference?
feel pretty good.
Do you feel a difference? You think?
I do.
That's
It
right.
could be also because I've cut a lot of things out and I haven't had any food, nothing solid at all in the past 6 days. But I feel all right, better than I thought.
Now, what happened with Reebok? And when you signed to Reebok, did Reebok do the release that you were there?
Nah, I did an endorsement with Puma recently. I don't want to go too deep into that
I had
because
to
it's
check your footwear when you said it. I was like, yeah, we got him on.
Come on, man.
Okay,
I
just
ain't faking. Nah, but I don't want to go too far into details with the other thing because it's something that we're gonna pursue. But it wasn't authorized. It wasn't authorized, and they put all money in on the shoe. They put Rich Rollin on the shoe. I don't even. That's some gang shit. You don't put Rich Rollin on no shoe. You gotta pay thousands of people. This nigga's doing life in jail. That fall under that structure. So you gotta be careful with that. I'm not even taking a check for nothing that say Rich Rollin.
Mhm.
I'd have told the designers, no, bro, stay clear of that. You can't copyright. That's like putting Crip on a shoe or something. Who you gonna pay?
And that causes problems for you because niggas like, oh, you got paid off.
You know what I'm saying? And even outside of that, because if I was right, I would stand on being right. That's not right. I'm not the benefit.
Now you see how Nipsey is way different from Diddy. He wanted to do the right thing. He wanted to do the right thing. And that's a leader. You know what I'm saying? That's a leader right there. Let's go.
Fishy area of that. You can't just pay me and think that. And they, by the way, they didn't pay me. You can't just pay me and think that, oh, we paid Nip and he speak for the. Nah, bro. These niggas that they got 100 years. Niggas gotta, buy soups. You know what I'm saying? What I look like taking a check. I can't do that.
Like, I'm grinding all my life. You tell a story where somebody got stomped out and you say 50 and Mayweather bounced with y'all in Vegas. What was that?
That was a long time ago, man. At a club, me and YG was performing in Vegas called Strip Hop. And, a melee broke out and, it ain't going in their favor. The niggas that started it. And just so happened 50 and Mayweather was in the club. They had all the cars and shit. They was really just coming to show love. And, it made the news. It was a big old thing, but niggas tried to rob us. You know what I mean? Like, somebody was waiting outside of my section. It was all girls coming into the section to take pictures. And, you be in the section, your chain hang. You be standing on the couch. And, somebody was like, where you from? One of the niggas, I'm thinking you're fan. I'm like, huh? You at my concert? You don't know where I'm from? I'm from LA, bro. He's like, no, where you from? And I frowned. I guess my homeboy seen me frowning, dope fiending. And then just a big old melee broke out. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, that's what that was about. It's on YouTube. The news footage is on YouTube.
Right. But why 50 and Mayweather had to bounce with y'all? Like, they needed to get out the club? Or?
Well, that was probably taken out of context. Okay. They left at the same time.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Floyd was there with 20, 30 security, and 50 was there with 50, 30 people. So
yeah. That was good money. I wasn't saying like they needed our help. It's just like, a little fact. They was in the building and, they got footage of Floyd on the internet arguing with the police in the front of the club. I be trying to revolve around real shit that took place. You know what I mean?
Just to go back to the Dr. Sebi thing real quick. What makes you want to do a documentary? Okay.
Get it right, man.
What makes you want to do a documentary about Dr. Sebi?
I think the story is important. I think it's a powerful narrative.
It is.
You know what I mean? And I think imagine this. Anybody in this room, if I could say, hey, somebody cured AIDS, y'all be like, yeah, right. And then I could show you an example of him going to trial, proven in a court to a jury that he cured AIDS. Y'all be interested in that.
Absolutely.
And y'all would look into the way he did it, right? So I feel like more so than like championing his products or explaining his methodology, put some light on that case.
Imagine being able to cure cancer or being able to cure any type of herpes, just all kinds of
And that's what he do, by the way.
That's what he did. Yeah. He used to send all types of vitamins up to the station.
You had herpes?
No. I said vitamins to the station. Did you hear me? I said vitamins
Not anymore,
to the
Damn,
station.
This guy's crazy.
You know what? I'm gonna ask, what happened with Cardi B? People were mad what you said about Cardi B. I guess that she wasn't a real...
No, that's not what I said. And you know what I mean? Just
she's a woman.
Yeah, I like Cardi B.
Right.
Cardi B did a verse for me.
You started it off saying, I like
Yeah,
Cardi.
that's a fact. Like, anybody don't like Cardi, they a hater. I used to watch her IG clips and be laughing like, this girl crazy, but her personality is golden. You know what I mean? But wrong is wrong, right is right, bro. That's what I grew up on. Niggas that love me, bro, gonna tell me, bro, you was wrong. Right. All right, don't tell me that in public. Wait till we get back to the hood. I might set off a melee. And niggas gonna fight with me, but when we get back to the hood, bro, that was bullshit. Don't do that. You gonna get us in a wreck. Wrong is wrong, right is right.
That's another thing. I love it when I have a set of individuals around me that love and care about me, and they are going to call me out, whether if it's something that I want to hear or not. They're not going to embarrass me, and I can do the same for them. Nipsey was a rare breed. Facts. Exactly. Yes, he was. Yes. Please like, share, subscribe, and join the conversation respectfully. Absolutely. Let's go.
That terminology she used is like real.
And look, just for the record, that's how Bloods talk. Bloods say crab, Bloods say float, Crips say slob, Crips say dead. Like, if I was with all my homeboys, I'd be like, bro, give me a dead bull. That's how we talk. But I'll be intentionally respectful on the record, because we talking about a public environment, which is the music industry. You feel what I'm saying? We saw what happened with Death Row. So we gonna set trip in public. Y'all gonna get caught on camera for squabbling. You gonna violate while you're worth 300 million, Suge Knight. You gonna go to the pen. Pac, you gonna die. Right or wrong, that happened. That was gangbanging. That was set tripping publicly. So we would be bad leaders to recreate that.
What about somebody like Tekashi 6ix9ine?
I don't want to talk about other people for real. You know what I'm saying? I feel my own way about it, but God bless everybody, man. Get your money. You feel me? What I said about Cardi, Big asked me, and so I spoke on it, but I don't want to hate on Cardi B. Get your money, Cardi. I respect what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? She done a verse for me. I see the Migos, I shake their hand. You know what I'm saying? I respect her come up. She came from the gutter. About saying disrespectful things on IG, I'ma always be like, that ain't the move. That's not what you're supposed to do. Now,
that's what I'm on. That's the type of time that I'm on. Like, if you're gonna be rolling with me, if you're gonna be around me, we should be able to address each other in a nice, you know what I'm saying, like in an adult way. I feel like some people, they just don't know what accountability is. You know what I'm saying? Let's go.
now, do I tell you what to do? Nah. You get it how you live. If you like it, I love it. I just know me and mine, we're gonna move this way because I'm always stand on what I do. So that if I walk into a room full of bloods, and I ain't gonna be like, oh, they go to slobs, I'm not finna talk like that. That's called being a cell soldier on some jail shit. You know what I'm saying?
What's a cell soldier?
A nigga that's in the cell popping it because you can't get touched. You hiding behind the cell.
All right.
You know what I'm saying? Pop the gates. Talk like that. If you ain't gonna talk like that, then keep it one way. I've been in a tank with 100 bloods before. I'm from 6-0 Crip. I ain't finna call niggas slobs. Niggas will kill me. But I ain't finna, this is where I'm from, homie. You feel what I'm saying? And so, same the other way around. I've been in a dorm with 100 Crips and 2 or 3 bloods. And niggas ain't using that terminology. They not. That's just against the laws of nature. This is self-preservation gonna prevent you from talking like that. That's what I was speaking on.
Mm-hmm.
But for the record, and just for the New York bangers, I respect real niggas everywhere. It's real niggas everywhere, in every city and state. You can't take that from nobody. Gang culture came from out of LA. I don't mean it ain't real niggas in New York that pushing a line as Bloods and Crips. But we gotta be honest. We gotta speak honestly. We can't be political about shit that niggas dead and doing life for. You feel what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So that's my stance on it. But so like I said, everybody get money, man. I respect Cardi. You know what I mean? She linked up with Wacko, one of a nigga I respect. He a Paru. And you know, I ain't mad at her. Do your thing. My personal opinion, it's in your interest not to be public dissing gangs. You know what I'm saying? Unless you want to put your security.
Totally understandable. He stood on business. And my thing is, you know, we know how previously how things had turned out. That it was a very yes, it and 9. Guys, give me a second. Yes, it's Queen Tulsa. All right. Actually, could I have your meal deal number 2? Pepperoni and supreme. Oh yes. Actually, we can do. Let's do Dr. Pepper.
Dr. Pepper?
Yes.
All right. And anything else for you today?
Just crushed peppers and cheese, and a little, and all the love that you guys are going to put into it.
I'll put all my love into it because I'm going to be making it.
Oh.
Your total is going to be $21.70, Miss Queen, and give me about 20 minutes.
Okay, thank you. I'll see you soon.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. All right, guys. Sorry about that. Let's go ahead and get into these comments. He knew it was enough out here for everybody to eat. He was a provider so many in his community. And you know what? When I feel like I'll be telling people that like it's so much out here for us. Like just chill, like do your thing. And if we supported each other more, we could really do some things here, you know? Let's go.
Security at risk, because it ain't gonna be you shooting or getting shot at. You gonna be pushed into the car.
You know, we were talking about on Friday last week. We were talking about checking in. And how do you feel about checking in? Because I mean, it's a big thing, especially in LA. You know what I mean? Because it's so open. I mean, you can drive in a block in LA. One block could be a sunny, clean block. Next block, you in the middle of the hood.
100%. Yeah. Checking in is it suggests friendly extortion when you say checking in. A relationship is different because we all need relationships. You know what I'm saying? I'm sure when you travel, you from New York, but you got relationships all over the country. Charlamagne, you got relationships all over. Angela, I'm sure you do too. And a relationship, I don't believe in fake relationships. So it just establish genuine relationships everywhere you go. You'll be in a better position. And you do that off being respectful and being, you know, you reciprocate. Somebody come to your city, bro, you need something. Whether it's a car, some weed, you know what I mean? You want to go somewhere to eat, what you need. You out of town, I got you. Not just some protection, you feel me? So I wouldn't say the check in, I don't know nothing about that, but just, I got relationships in New York that it's respect. When I pull up, you know what I mean? Niggas will make sure I got whatever I need. Same in LA. I can get you from the airport, bro. You can take my car. You can come to my store. You meet my homeboys. You can get niggas numbers. If you any problems or whatever, just call in. Or you want to know where to go eat at. That ain't because you had to. That's because we just strengthen numbers, and we only from one place. You know.
On dedication, you say you want real nigga reparations. What's your idea of real nigga reparations?
Access, man. You know what I'm saying? Like we boxed out. Even like Angela was saying earlier about like cryptocurrency and technology. We underrepresented in technology. I just opened a co-work space in my neighborhood called Vector 90. And so when we did our grand opening, Don Peebles, who's a billionaire real estate investor, came down and he's on the board with us. And, you know, he spoke. And, you know, my partner, David Gross, whose idea was originally, he put facts about the wealth inequality on the wall as like the aesthetic for the building. And you look at Facebook, you look at Google, you look at all of these multi-billion-dollar technology companies, and look at their demographic. It was like a bar chart: white, Asian, you know, black. It was like less than the highest one I seen. I think was Facebook with like 9% black people working in that company. How many of us got Facebook?
All of us.
All of us. How many artists who got hundreds of millions of followers are black?
Child, when you talk about a dream and how you want to give back and, you know, you have a plan. See, sometimes, and this is what I'm learning, what Nipsey is doing, and I'm not, rest in peace to him, but we can't be out here telling people our dreams and things like that. We just can't. We just cannot. Put it on paper, make it happen, present it. Let's go.
And you know, they leverage their value off the amount of people and eyeballs. So that's what I mean when I say right now at this moment. You know what I mean? That's what that would be what that term represents. Like we want access. You know what I mean? We should be included. And not only should nobody let us, it shouldn't be affirmative action. We should be educating ourselves and being
actively pursuing.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And also be aggressive with saying, bro, don't play with me. With the way you position your business model. We aware. Don't play with me, homie. I'm gonna be disrespected like you spit in my face. It's actually more disrespectful than spitting in my face. You know what I mean? So that's what I mean by that.
Now, everybody on Bitcoin now, you mentioned it a couple of times already, but you've been on cryptocurrency.
You know what's crazy? I remember I got into it with Complex a while ago, and I got upset because they put me on the underachiever list.
You said Mark Echo, actually.
Yeah. I had a meeting. Karen Civil set up a meeting with Mark Echo because he owned Complex, and so I went up there, and we had a long convo, and after we got everything out the way, we just started popping into each other. And he was like, you know, I was telling you about my concept for the marathon store. I'm like, I want to have 10 stores in America. I want to have a retail network like Apple. I could drop my albums in my own stores. I could control the aesthetic and the environment. I could surround niggas with products. He's like, yeah, that's cool, but look into e-commerce. He basically shitted on the whole idea, like, fuck a store. He like,
it's a lot of overhead.
Yeah, you know, everything's shifting toward e-commerce. And he was like, I'm looking to Bitcoin. I was like, 13.
Wow.
So after that, I started researching and just doing my education on it. And you know, I invested late into Bitcoin, but I was aware of it for a long time, right? But you know, since then I've invested into a company called Followcoin, which is a cryptocurrency application, and another one called Vest. So you know, we in the space.
Now, what happened with the LGBT community? They was set tripping on you at one point when you
you know, man, they for the record, come on, man, I live in LA. I'm in the music industry. There's no way I could take issue with anybody's sexuality. You know what I'm saying? And at the end of the day, I got people in my family.
Listen here. It's people in the industry. He has family members. Why do people get their panties in a bunch when it's, you know, gay, transsexual, this or that? Why they get so hot like they don't know? Like they don't have family members? Come on now. Why do people get so excited when it's let's go. Some people aren't praying for you, they're praying on you. Ain't that it? Get into it. And shout out to our beautiful donation Let's thank you, and we'll be right back. Thank you all so much for supporting Queen Tulsa, the show, whether it's a like, a share, a subscribe, a Cash App, a PayPal, or a Zelle. Thank you for coming by and watching the show. And this is your commercial for being acknowledged for just being here. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Without you, who would be watching? Thank you for tuning in.
Got people I love, my homegirls, some of the, people that I grew up around that, that's their lifestyle. I could never judge nobody for their sexuality. What they took out of context was a critique on the media. I made a critique on the media, and I was really speaking toward what my homeboy Big U did for the kids, and the image of, somebody that came from prison, that came from gang culture, what the image gets portrayed as around that type of individual, and what this person's actually doing. And I think that it was taken out of context. And that's a sensitive thing. I would never want people to feel alienated or like, damn, an artist that I'm inspired by or look up to or somebody I respect might look at me as less than. That's not what I meant, you know what I'm saying? And I think it just got taken out of context. And it's a movement right now for like acceptance and equality. So, there's a whole machine built behind. It's like a witch hunt. You know what I'm saying? Let anybody say
sexism, homophobia.
It's a witch hunt.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I fell into that. It's all good. You know what I mean? I respect it. I'm with the movement of equality, and everybody respect everybody as individuals. God is the creator and the judge. I'm not the judge.
I think they were just upset because they felt like you were implying that homosexuals couldn't look like so-called real men.
And that was probably the error that I made in articulation. That, it could be read like that. I could have been more clear. You know what I'm saying? But
Well, I mean, I can kind of agree with him. I mean, some of these guys that appear to be straight, and girl, he's not straight. But, Tammy says, that's her man. That is her man. Her man. Let's get into it. Let's go.
Me personally, I judge things off of intention. We all human, we gonna make mistakes, but I gave somebody intention. What was you trying to say? You know what I'm saying? Right. And if the intention is clear, I give the execution a little wiggle room, you know what I'm saying? Or the articulation. And I asked everybody, look at my intention. You know what I'm saying? What was I trying to say? I was trying to big up my homeboy for creating a banquet for these young kids from the hood that play football, got everybody suited and booted. I seen niggas in there that was killers at one time with suits on, serving the kids food. And you know what I mean? I'm like, we gotta do this more often. I wanted to shed a light on that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Now how have you explored your Eritrean ancestry?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. I'm making a movie about the summer of 2003. When I was 18, I went to Eritrea for 3 months. Out the blue, I didn't even know I was going. My brother just was like, bro, we about to go back home. And I had a spot at that time. I was hustling. I had a studio. I was like knee deep in some young nigga shit. I didn't really want to go. And I went out there for 3 months, and it changed my life. I was sick the first 2 weeks. I was like culture shock, depressed. I didn't understand. I didn't really have no way to, I didn't know what to do out there. But after the first 2 weeks, I embraced what was going on. And I just kind of, it's like I had to let go of my comfort, what made me comfortable. I was smoking weed every day, riding around the hood in a car with rims, and I just had a different comfort zone. And once I got out of that, it changed my life. And one thing that was unique about the culture back home is that everything built around food. So that's what make a family close, is that you eat with your family. And I learned that from being out there. We move so fast out here in our culture that we might, what's up, mom? Boom, and leave. It might be 7-8 years. We eat at Thanksgiving and Christmas. And even then, we running in for the meal, sit down, and then we get back to the grind. Every day back home from 12 p.m. to 3 p.m., the whole city shut down. Everything but the restaurant. You know what I'm saying? Everybody going home. The men going home. The kids' schools let out. And everybody eat lunch.
How does all the energy surrounding Black Panther affect you then? Because you see everybody with the dashikis on and the African garments. And
I mean, you mean the fashion day? Or
just in general, people having like this sense of pride in the motherland.
Man, I think that's important. You know what I mean? If you don't connect to a country, it's a devastating thing. Man, I ain't even understand that until I went. It's devastating if you can't connect to a country, because we know we not from America for real.
But some people might have never been to where they're from too.
That was me. That was me. I was raised under my mom understanding, and I don't mean her personally. I just mean her being a Black American whose mom came from New Orleans, Louisiana, and a couple generations back they was exposed to slavery. And you know what I'm saying? So to have an understanding of like, wait, it's a whole thousand-year tradition that we connect to. And I'm fortunate because my dad was born over there. So I connect to it in one generation. So I met my grandmother and I seen her way of living. This is my dad's mom. It's not 5 generations removed. So I connected to it easy, or easier maybe than somebody do their ancestry and figure out where they from and then go visit it, but don't got nobody that really love them, that you can say, this is my immediate family. But, you know, I think that movie was powerful. I seen it on the day of my album release. I was doing a lot, but I made sure I went and go buy the ticket and seen it. And just the last line Michael B. Jordan said was a powerful line.
All about the bondage.
What?
Bury me in the ocean.
You know what I'm saying?
People who knew death was better than bondage.
That's heavy. You know what I'm saying? That's heavy. And I thought that, I even hit him. I'm like, man, that was a powerful line. That's one of the most powerful things I heard. Because I felt that viscerally being in the streets. I would rather die than go to jail for life. I remember feeling like that. I'm a whole court. When we used to be on bullshit that might have us go away forever, I'd be like, don't get in this car with me, bro. If you ain't, I'm not going to jail for no shit like this. I'm a whole court because it's to me, you rather die. I talk to niggas that got life. You'd rather die. You know what I mean? So I felt that. You know what I mean? I think that was a powerful movie.
And when you came in here today, you said you haven't smoked in 5 months either. So what does that do for you? And when do you feel like you could just give it up permanently?
I never want to say never because I get something out of smoking weed sometime. But I think anything in excess turns into a liability. And even for me, like, you know, I got an intense promo campaign. You know, I gotta be on camera. I gotta be on time. I gotta be, you know, I gotta be able to think sharp. So, you know, when it comes to like going out to the public and representing my product, I don't want to be. And even in business, you know, you come in here and smell like weed. Whether they say it or not, they hold it against you. They think they got a little edge on you if they don't smoke.
Even now in Cali, with being legal in here?
I mean, it ain't even the like you're a criminal thing. It's that I think quicker than you. I'm more focused than you. I got more discipline than you. I got less of a need to be comfortable than
Until you say, well, I have my own dispensary and my own shit.
Yeah, all of that. Nah, from far as growing it, selling it legally, we still do that. But just me personally, I don't use no drugs. I might drink some wine, you know what I'm saying, right now. But I don't mean I haven't in the past. Right now, it's more important to be focused.
Oh, you said soda too. When you came here, you said I stopped smoking weed and stopped soda. You was a soda fanatic?
I was drinking lean. You know what I'm saying? I was pulling it, and I didn't know how unhealthy that shit was.
People were dying.
Yeah, and part of that also is the amount of soda you drink. You gotta think if you wake up and drink a soda at 8 a.m. and you drink sodas the rest of the day. Bro, I'm a skinny nigga. I had a pot belly. You know what I'm saying? That shit don't look right on the skinny nigga. You know, but just overall, just feeling unhealthy. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't like the way that feel. Your eyes, it show. You know what I mean? So, I was like, you know, I'm off all of that shit. I'm gonna just focus on being healthy, working out, eating good as best I can. You know what I mean? Being focused. And then I seen my team. I had a convo with Puff about the weed. Cause you know what I mean? He like, you look like you been doing yoga, nigga. He was making a joke. You know what I'm saying? Like, you gotta glow, nigga.
Right.
I'm like, nah, I stopped smoking the weed. And then he like, why? And so I had a convo with him. I'm like, we leaders. We got a lot of people that follow us. But when we stop, a lot of my team stopped smoking. You know what I'm saying? A lot of the people that look to me, you know, just be in the gym now and just be on a more focused frequency. So, you know, again, I ain't on an anti-weed campaign. I think it's when you feel like you want to go do something violent, smoke you some weed.
That's the team, though.
There we go.
Smoke the right strain of weed.
Yeah,
Some indica or something.
Some marathon OG. Smoke some of that. You know what I'm saying?
I got a couple more questions. You speak about being a leader on a loaded basis with CeeLo. You say a couple niggas, I'm paraphrasing, but a couple niggas every generation that remind us of our strength and our stolen greatness.
Yeah.
Expound on that line a little bit.
I said, see, it's a couple niggas every generation that wasn't supposed to make it out, but they decode the matrix. And when they get to speak, it's like a stolen language. Or it's like a coded language. Reminds niggas of their strength and all the stolen greatness. Yeah, that's clear, right? I think it means, to me, it's like, you know, and I say this in the humblest way. I ain't trying to big up my gangster or my hustler when I say this, but, you know, it's
being black is the shit.
Yeah, that
it's
too.
It's a privilege to be black.
That too. And just even like coming from where we come from and the shit that, you know, we was involved in and just being a part of the 90s in the 2000s in South Central LA being active. I don't know too many people that made it. They had gang enhancements, technology took over, they started putting cameras up everywhere, but our culture didn't adapt quick enough. So we were still raised on go down the street, hop out and shoot, even though it's cameras everywhere, even though they got cell phone towers. So we was a victim to the technology. So the fact that we here, you know, I feel like, you know, it's 1 or 2 or 3, maybe, hopefully more every generation that somehow, you know, I think it's God, my personal opinion, that, you know, keep you protected through them situations while you learning what you really here for. But, you know.
It constantly reminds.
Oh my goodness. A lot of this is like resonating. I hope you all are enjoying the interview. We only have like a few more minutes of it, but I saw this and I said, let me share it with you all and we'll just watch together. We're almost done, but let's get more into it. Let's go.
And enough of who we are.
100%. And being able to speak from a place of experience. but on a platform and on, you know, from a place of success that telling people, man, I got real niggas that be like, man, I'm gonna shed a tear listening to this album, bro. Like niggas doing life, niggas in jail. Like, man, you know what I'm saying? This shit is emotional listening to this shit, cause they know. You know what I'm saying? It might be music to somebody, but niggas I was in them cars with us and in them spots with us and really went through that shit. Again, in a humble way. I don't mean it's like I'm a super tough nigga. I just mean the path that niggas took. It's like, damn, you know, that's my homeboy. You know, I know him. You know what I mean? I know what it means for him to be right there, you know, so that's what the line speaks to.
And another great example is how you, on the West Coast, you guys are very supportive of each other. Yeah. Just seeing the relationships that you have with other artists. Yeah. I know you feel the love, because sometimes people from where they're from, they don't feel that love.
That was something that we did consciously, and it ain't fake. Like, I really fuck with YG, I respect YG.
I see y'all work a lot together.
Yeah, and that ain't for the cameras, you know what I mean? I had 4-5 hour combos with YG. I was supposed to be there the night he got shot. I was at the studio the next couple days, chopping it with him. You know what I'm saying? My mama and his mama know each other. You know, I fuck with J305. I fuck with Dom Kennedy. You know what I mean? And everybody else, G Malone. You know what I'm saying? Gang.
Glasses, what up,
yeah,
bro?
you know what I mean? Schoolboy from Hoover. I got respect for Schoolboy. You know what I mean? Our hood's beef in a real way. In a real way. On site, killing. The Hoover's in the neighborhood car. You feel me? But I got respect for Schoolboy. And I got, you know, one of the reasons is because I saw what happened with Death Row. You know what I'm saying? You can't mix that shit. We gotta have some type of, it's like the county jail. We all in here, bro. Ain't no way around it. We gotta have some structure. In the county, it'll be times when, you know, you walk into a dorm and it'll be like, bro, you the enemy. You gotta fight, but we're not gonna jump you. We're gonna give you your head ups. That's structure. Because if niggas getting jumped in this dorm, what you think gonna happen next door? The yo homie that's surrounded by 15 of my homies. Niggas in here getting stabbed in this dorm, what's gonna happen next door? Everybody gonna be getting killed. So it's structure that prevents shit from going haywire, you know?
How do you get that mentality?
Conscious, so that means that you guys really had a conversation. Like, this is a conscious thing. We are gonna make sure we support each other.
And not in those terms, but on like, look, we don't want to divide the fan base. We don't want all the Crips riding with Nip, all the Bloods riding with YG. We don't want everybody feeling like who they listen to is a reflection of their loyalty to their side. We want niggas to think and to know it's music. And the demonstration we make, you know, it's gonna impact the generation after us. Recently, it's an artist from LA named Greedo. He from Grape Street. It's an artist from LA named RJ. He from Athens Park. They had some internet back and forth, and it was looking like it was gonna turn into some shit. They did a concert together. RJ versus Greedo. All the Grape Streets was on stage with Greedo. All the Athens Park Bloods was on stage with RJ. And niggas had their purple flags and their red flags. And I don't know, the whole city was like, this shit gonna turn into a bloodbath. Niggas kept it music. And at the end, they did their song that they had together. And
that's great.
I saluted that and I respected that, because I was in the cut watching. Like,
you was there?
No, I was just on the internet watching the back and forth.
Yeah.
You know, and I was just like, I hope niggas don't let this shit spill out. That's gonna impact everything in the wrong way. And they, you know, they did it like bosses and then turned it into a concert, made money, put on a good show. It was some competitive energy, but at the end of it, they did their song together. And now it turned into a string of shows. So I think that it's so political that we gotta be conscious and we gotta create, you know, some structure so that we can stay here.
Well, how do you get that mentality to translate to the street? Like what y'all doing in the industry, how do you get that to translate throughout the whole street?
People got choices, right? So you're gonna look at what this group of people did and what the repercussions were and what the feedback was from doing this. And you're gonna look at what this group of people did and look at the feedback. You wanna go to jail for life? You wanna get killed? Do what we was doing. You wanna get you some money, level up, create brands, build your team, get your family, get your homies on. Follow what we doing. It's your choice.
My last question for Nick, man, because I'm riding in the car and I'm like, boy, Nick gonna get in some shit for this. You said that your mistress is Creole. How do you get away with that?
Man, it's music, man. Oh. I said my wife is a C note. I said his life is a free throw. My wife is a C note, but my mistress is Creole. You know, that was what number one. I recorded that before I had a girl, for real.
Okay.
Before I was in a relationship.
That's the disclaimer.
That's a fact though. I ain't just being political. But then again, it's music, man. Like, my girl's an actress. If she kiss a nigga on camera, what, I'm gonna be mad? Nah, do your thing. I love
the fact you said your girl, so y'all back together, y'all good.
Yeah, we solid. Players fuck up too, man. That's all I'm gonna say about that. Right?
That's the reason I asked, because she don't play. Yeah, she don't run down on you.
She ran down on Charlamagne. You know, Charlamagne went hard, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, Boogie, man, you know, she know how to defend herself and stand up, you know what I mean? And, you know, she's from LA. She grew up, a lot of people might think she got a privileged background. She ain't got no privileged background.
They think she's new in real life.
That's what they think, from Atlanta.
Yeah, nah, but she come from LA, man, and you know what I mean? She's solid, so. You know, I ain't even have to. She seen Charlamagne and zeroed in, but I told her from jump though. I'm like, you gonna meet Charlamagne and like Charlamagne, respect Charlamagne. You know what I mean? Charlamagne known for being honest and you know what I mean, ruffling feathers. But I know his stance, and I'm like, y'all got the similar mentality in terms of like what's right. You know what I'm saying? So Yeah, she got a lot of love and respect for you, bro.
She recommended a book to me, but I can't remember the name of it. I was gonna ask you.
Yeah, what was it?
She said she recommended it to you too.
Oh yeah, nah, this is a powerful book. It's called The Way of the Superior Man.
Way of the Superior. There you go.
Yeah,
Write
she
that down
fucked
right
me up
now.
with that book too. I ain't gonna lie to you. That's a book women should not give to a man unless they really secure in themselves. Because the message of that book is basically for powerful men how to deal with your power. Because you know you got options. You get power and money and fame. You could go crazy.
Right.
So it just give you a unique perspective. You know what I'm saying, on the right way to do things. You know what I mean? Yeah, from the author perspective. You know, it's heavy though.
Word.
Well, we appreciate you joining us.
Nipsey Hussle.
Yeah,
Album's out right
yeah.
now,
Victory Lap. Yeah.
And it's the Breakfast Club. Come on.
Hey, check it out. This is Eminem, and the streets is watching.
All right. I hope you all enjoy the commentary. Shout out to our family out on Facebook, YouTube, and QueenTulsa.com, and also Twitch. We are live on Twitch. I hope you enjoyed the commentary today. Please let us know how you felt down in the comments. Shout out to those that donated to the Cash App today. It's really appreciated and it does not go unnoticed. Well, on that note, that concludes our broadcast on today. I want to thank you so much. I am your host, Queen Tulsa, and this is the Queen Tulsa Show. And this was an amazing day for me. Thank you all for showing up. And also remember, Queen Alive in the Field. Queen Tulsa is a content personality that's broadcasted on YouTube, Instagram, and other social media. Please like, share, subscribe to this independent channel for the people. Donations go to building this platform. Thanks for taking the time to watch. And remember to hit the like, the share, and subscribe buttons. We'll see you next time. So long.
Say something. Girls need love. Girls need love. Girls need love. So what's a girl to do? She needs love. Girls need love. Girls can't never say they want it. Girls can't never say yeah. Girls can't never say they need it. Girls can't never say nah. Girls can't never say they want it. Girls can't never say yeah. Girls can't never say they need it. Girls can't never say nah. Like you need it, baby. Want you to hear me screaming, have it breathing. I don't need a reason, baby. I want it till you can't buy. I can get it to you right, baby. I wanna be healing. I can be real good. Please don't get these feelings. Hey, I need some love.